Hi, it's Elizabeth with the Weekly Tasting. Thanks so much for getting this Wines of Spain pack, or Interesting Wines of Spain pack as I like to call it. We're offering this pack because Spain is historic, varied, and delicious. It has a winemaking history of over 3,000 years. Vineyards are on both coasts, the Atlantic and the Mediterranean, and scattered throughout the Iberian Peninsula. So much to discover, so many amazing grapes and so many amazing wines. It used to just be that this country was known for sherry and for Rioja. In this pack, we have a new wave of Spanish wines, regions that up until recently were unknown and undiscovered except by locals. So each wine is a representation of Spanish wine evolution. We have a white from Catalunya that basically is the grapes for cava, the sparkling wine, but in a still wine, so aromatic, bright, and fresh. We have a wine from Ribeiro, right near the Rías Baixas region on the Atlantic coast, where we see a lot of whites coming out of, especially Alvarinho. This is a red made of mainly the Mencia grape, but it's bright, it's tart, it's minerally, it's fresh, totally different from any red you probably had before. Then we have our two really bold reds, one from Navarra, that's the Logos 2. This is a powerful, brandied, heavy, really rich red wine. It's from 2011, just hitting its prime now. And then we have a red from Jumilla. This is the Monastrell or Mourvedre grape. Smells like it's going to be so ripe, so rich, from a very warm region in southern Spain. But when you taste it, it just has incredible balance. It has this lightness about it despite its richness that is fantastic. One of my favorite bold red regions in the world, especially for the price. I hope these wines wind up piquing your interest about Spain and they set you on the road to discovering new stuff that Spain has to offer, which is coming out all the time and it's just so spectacular. Jumilla, where El Lince Monastrell is from, is one of my favorite kind of unknown regions for rich, bold red. The thing about the wines from here is that they have an incredible balance. So even though they're bold, because this area is kind of warm, you are still going to get nice acidity, good tannin. It's not going to be over the top, which is why I love this, and it is amazing value for the money. So Jumilla is an area that's in the province of Murcia, which is right on the Mediterranean coast, but Jumilla is up on an elevated plain or on a plateau. It's a little dry here, but it's got moisture retaining soil, so the vines are going to be able to dig deep and really get the nourishment that they need. And it's also at elevation, so during the night it's going to cool down. These grapes are going to be able to maintain acidity and not bake out all their flavor throughout the night. So we will see that in this wine right now. Let's take a look at the color. It's a dark crimson color, very warm area. Mourvedre or Monastrell, however you want to say this grape, tends to be very dark in pigment. So it's not surprising that this wine is pretty dark in color. Swirl it. It's incredibly ripe. Blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, black raspberry, almost a prune-like note. There's been aging in American and French oak barrels, so you'll get vanilla, you'll get cinnamon, nutmeg. It seems like it's going to be a real fruit bomb. Let's taste. But that is not the case. What you wind up getting with Jumilla, like I said, is that it's much milder on the palate. So there's rich fruit. The wine is not a shrinking violet, but it's got a good balance of mild tannin, a little bit of acidity, fantastic spice. Have this with boldly flavored foods. You want to have it with burgers or ribs or grilled red meat of some sort. If you're a vegetarian, portobello mushroom, black bean burger, gonna go awesome with this. I think once you get on the Jumilla bandwagon, you're gonna have it be your go-to for bold red. It's an awesome flavored wine for an awesome price. This wine is the Logos 2 from Bodegas Escudero in Navarra, which is in north central Spain. Now, I love this region because it's prolific, it's historic, yet it's relatively obscure. They still make awesome wines. It's probably kind of obscure because for a long time it was known just for Grenache-based or Garnacha-based rosés, and that wasn't particularly exciting, but now the reds especially are coming on very strong. They add a lot of international grapes or French grapes, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Syrah. This wine has 30% Cabernet Sauvignon, and you're gonna taste that in the wine. Navarra has a diversity of grapes, diversity of styles. It's pretty awesome. So let's take a look at the wine. Super dark in color. It's from old vines, so you're gonna get smaller berries, really concentrated color, concentrated flavor also. That's no surprise that the wine is super dark. Cabernet Sauvignon and Tempranillo are also very pigmented. So swirl it, snip it. Dark plum, licorice, anise. There's a bunch of coconut here. This wine was aged in American oak. That's gonna sometimes throw some coconut aromas our way. We'll taste it. This is a big, big wine. It's savory, it's bold. It tastes like brandy cherry and licorice. It's got a long lingering finish. It's got great tannin from the Cabernet Sauvignon, from the Tempranillo also, which make up together 60% of the blend. Light acidity. It's just irresistible. It's only hitting its prime now, and it's a 2011. Have this with bold food. So braised pork, steak, roasted root vegetables like beets or carrots. Something that has a lot of flavor is going to do really well with this very flavorful, delicious wine from Navarra. This wine is the Monastrell Blanc 2016. I keep wanting to call it Blanca because that's how you'd say it in Spanish, but this is from Catalunya. It goes all the way from the French border down the Mediterranean coast, 360 miles. It includes Barcelona. Vineyards are scattered all throughout the area. You have Priorat down in a little bit farther in the south that's making rich reds. You have other red wine regions. And then this is the hub for cava, the Spanish sparkling wine made in the same way as champagne but with Spanish grapes. And this wine is like a still version of cava. It is so awesome. It's got Jarello, Macabeo, and Chardonnay, three of the grapes that they often use in cava. But that is used for structure and for flavor. We have some Garnacha Blanca, which is giving it this cheek coating quality, and Muscat, which gives it floral aromatics. Let's take a look at the wine. It's a pretty lemon color, little legs, not very high alcohol, which makes it a fabulous sipper if you like an aromatic white. Swirl it and snip it. It just hops out of the glass at you. Honey, peach, white flower, lilac, lemon cake. I really want to drink it. My mouth is watering thinking about it. So, great acidity, nice cheek coating texture from that Garnacha Blanca, honeysuckle, peach, lemon flavors. Got a tiny bit of pucker, probably from skin contact early on in the winemaking process before they press the grapes. It's just a fantastic sipper, also going to go so well with lighter foods. So seared scallops or light flaky white fish in a lemon butter sauce. Manchego or other Spanish cheeses would be fabulous with this. Rosemary chicken. This is a total winner. I think you'll love it. The 2015 El Tinto de Juan Míguez from the Ribeiro region is in this pack because it's a wine that's red but drinks like it's white. It's really fascinating. So a little background on Ribeiro. It's not too far away from Rias Baixas, which is on the Atlantic coast, and that's where they make a lot of Albarino. Now this area is also known for making whites from Albarino. Also another grape called Godello, which is super minerally, almost like salt water in flavor. But it's a little bit inland, it's a little warmer, so they're able to ripen red grapes, and that's how we're getting this wine. That being said, you're still gonna get fresh, bright, minerally notes in this wine, almost really similar to a white. So let's take a look at this. It certainly did get red. It's pretty dark in color. This is mostly the Mencia grape here at work, which can be kind of dark in color, light around the rim, and kind of thick legs from the alcohol. It's 14%. Give it a swirl, sniff. So it's elegant, it's complex, it's got these raspberry and tart cherry notes, and it's kind of like black pepper also. You can smell the acidity though in this wine, which is really interesting for a red, I think. Let's taste. So it's light, yet it has these kind of dark fruit flavors. So those dark plum notes, potting soil even a little bit, black pepper is there. There's a lot of tart acidity that's going to keep it fresh. There's some mild tannin that's there for balance. Because of its acidity, because of its lovely spice, its light body, this is going to be much better with food than without it. It also is better if you leave it open for a day and then have it the next day. This is going to be great with pecan crusted snapper, grilled octopus, jamon serrano. All of that will be really fantastic with this light red. Those are our interesting wines of Spain, not from the run-of-the-mill regions, all really fantastic. I hope that this helped you discover some new favorites. I hope you'll give us feedback on these wines and that you'll check back on Mondays for the next available pack.